Alrighty, this is going to be a review and a discussion over the Athlete A documentary. After watching it, throughout the documentary, I kind of got a sense of unease from Mr. Larry Nassar. It definitely felt like he was using his position as a figure who has power or more knowledge, but also his literal position of how he would look, where he would stand, to take advantage of these women who were afraid to speak up, not only because of their age and their gender, but also because of just what they were working towards, what they were trying to gain, which was a spot on the USA Olympic team. To watch what this many athletes had to go through and how somebody was successful in taking advantage of so many is honestly scary to watch, because it's kind of sad to think that is probably not the only time that's ever happened or is happening in our world. But since the documentary concluded, taking right off from where it ended, with the former CEO, Penny, his case was dismissed, sadly, in 2022, his case with evidence tampering, as the prosecutors said that there was insufficient level of evidence. So his name, he had to step away from the USA Gymnastics as a whole, which is good for the organization, but no legal implications were held up against him as of 2022. Up until now, there are over 500 survivors and 9 Olympians who have come forward talking about their experiences about Larry Nassar. This basically ended for everybody in a large settlement with organizations. It's Michigan State in 2018 paid roughly $500 million to survivors who came out towards them, and USA Gymnastics and the Olympic and Paralympic Committee paid $380 million in settlements to athletes. Just a crazy amount of money for people to cover this up and allow this to happen. Just to have to pay this amount of money is kind of scary. And then in 2024, the U.S. government agreed to a $138.7 million settlement with survivors related to failures in the investigation. So the other ones were just in settlements because of what happened. And then the $140 million almost in this settlement was just because of failures in the investigation. I'm guessing not doing proper due diligence as they said they were. And 332 victims got settlements. That's a lot of people. A lot of people getting a piece of a settlement here. And a lot of people that have been affected. You have to think that this is a lot of people getting a lot of money, but these are also 332 people that were vastly affected and will be affected for the rest of their lives. So this is still only a small takeaway for them of what they're going to gain from this, because they've already lost so much. Then, to go into more specifics, there was a case filed by former gymnast Sabrina Vega, who sued the Karolys for negligence and emotional distress, where they alleged that they allowed an environment where abuse occurred and failed to intervene despite warning signs. So they basically said, Sabrina Vega did, that there was obvious I'm trying to think of a good way to put this. Obvious abuse, obvious ways that the Karolys should have, obvious things that the Karolys should have done something about, to put it simply. Honestly, they should have just taken more initiative. They should have handled it in a completely different way instead of just trying to move past it and almost act like it's not happening, or not wanting to tarnish their name, so they went about it as if they just it's not a big deal. We don't want people to find this out and think about us negatively. And now they have to deal with so many Olympians that, Maggie Nichols, people that everybody knows, like Simone Biles. Not that everybody doesn't know these women's names, but household names at this point from USA Gymnastics that people are just aware of and have been affected by this one doctor in this one instance. And then to go just in a more legal terms, most of the claims, civil claims and legal claims that have been brought up in these cases, result in negligence and emotional distress and failure to report abuse and institutional cover-up. So not only are we talking about the abuse itself and the negligence of the Karolyi's and their whole organization that they were running, but also their almost corruptness to not only not share this information properly, but try to cover it up. Covering it up is probably the best way to put it, honestly. Just a failure to adequately care for these women and these athletes like everybody should deserve. So I definitely think the Athlete A documentary is worth a watch. I feel like I learned more than I thought I would heading in, definitely. And I just think that a lot of people can gain a lot of perspective.